Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily class. Today we are continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter number 9 and verse number 18. Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Haribo, glories to Prabhupada.
Thank you, Maharaj. I'm going to share my screen again. The verse. So
Yeah,
today we stopped in the middle of the verse on 17th, Maharaj, the purport. Do you want to continue or shall we go to the verse number 18?
well, we discussed this verse anyway.
Yeah.
So let's go to 18.
Okay, Maharaj. Yes.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tadarshana Lada Paripluta Platantaro Rishyatanu Prema Varasrulochanaha Nanama Padmadbhujam Asa Visrasrig Yad Paramahansa Yena Patadi Gamyate. Lord Brahma, seeing the personality of Godhead in his fullness, was overwhelmed with joy within his heart. And thus, in full transcendental love and ecstasy, his eyes filled with tears of love. He thus bowed down before the Lord. That is the way of the highest perfection for the living being, Paramahansa. Purport. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that this great literature is meant for the Paramahansas. Paramo Nirmadsaranam Satam, that is, Srimad Bhagavatam, is meant for persons completely free from malice. In the conditioned life, the malicious life begins from the top, namely bearing malice against the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Personality of Godhead is an established fact in all revealed scriptures, and in the Bhagavad Gita, the personal feature of the Supreme Lord is especially mentioned, so much so that the last portion of the great literature has emphatically stressed that one should surrender unto the Personality of Godhead to be saved from the miseries of life. Unfortunately, persons with impious backgrounds do not believe in the personality of Godhead. Everyone wants to become God himself without any qualification. This malicious nature in the conditioned soul continues even up to the stage when a person wants to be one with the Lord, and thus even the greatest of empiric philosophers speculating on becoming one with the Supreme Lord cannot become a Paramahansa because the malicious mind is there. Therefore, the Paramahansa stage of life can be attained only by those who are fixed in the practice of Bhakti Yoga. This Bhakti Yoga begins if a person has the firm conviction that simply discharging devotional service to the Lord in full transcendental love can elevate him to the highest perfectional stage of life. Brahmaji, in this art of Bhakti Yoga, he believed in the instructions of Lord to execute tapa, and he discharged the function with great penance and achieved the greatest success of seeing the Vaikuntha Lokas and the Lord also by personal experience. No one can reach the abode of the Supreme Lord by any mechanical means or of mind or machine, but one can reach the abode of Vaikuntha Lokas simply by following the process of Bhakti Yoga, because the Lord can be realized only through the process of Bhakti. The Lord Brahmaji was actually sitting in his lotus seat, and from there he executed the process of Bhakti Yoga with great seriousness. He could see the Vaikuntha Lokas with all the variegatedness, as well as the Lord in person and his associates. Following in the footsteps of Lord Brahma, any person, even up to this day, can attain the same perfection by following the path of the Paramahansas as recommended herein. Lord Chaitanya also approves of this method of self-realization for men in this age. One should first, with all conviction, believe in the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna while making efforts to realize him by speculative philosophy. One should prefer to hear about him from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and later from the text of Srimad Bhagavatam. One should hear such discourses from a person Bhagavatam and not from the professional man or from a karmi, jnani, or yogi. That is the secret of learning the science. One does not need to be in a renowned solar. He can remain in his present condition of life, but he must search out the association of a bona fide devotee of the Lord and hear from him the transcendental message of the Lord with conviction. That is the path of the Paramahansa recommended herein. Among various holy names of the Lord, he is also Ajita, or one who will never be conquered by anyone else. Yet he can be conquered by the Paramahansa path as practically realized and shown by the great spiritual master, Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma has personally recommended this Paramahansa Pantha in his own words. Jnani prayasa udapasyam namanta evam jivanti samam haritam bhavadiya vartam stane stita sutikatam tano van manobir ya prayasa jita pyasa trilokyam. Lord Brahma, O my Lord, a devotee who abandons the path of empiric philosophical speculation aimed at merging into the existence of the Supreme and engaged himself in hearing your glories and activities from a bona fide saint or sadhu who lives an honest life in the occupational engagement in his social life can conquer your sympathy and mercy even though you are ajita or unconquerable. That's from Bhagavatam 10:14:3, that's spoken by Brahma. That is the path for attaining the Paramahansas, which was personally followed by Lord Brahma and later recommended by him for attaining perfect success in spiritual life. Umagyantimirandasya Ganajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapti Tamyena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadammayam Dadati Swampadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyatapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vasnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Desatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the path of the Paramahansas, or the Par means supreme, Hamsa means swan, and the swan is like a person or an animal who, if you give a combination of milk and water and you mix it together, the swan can drink the milk without touching the water. In other words, they can take the essence of something and leave the rest. That is a Paramahansa. So here, the Srimad Bhagavatam is Paramahansa Samhita. It's for those persons who have developed that mood of bhakti, where they are completely fixed in loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, free from all mental speculation, empirical philosophical studies, and please the Lord simply by their activities directed in such a way as to want to please the Lord. Not only please the Lord, but they desire to please the Lord in their activities. So this is the path of the Paramahansa. And Srimad Bhagavatam is that scripture which teaches the path of the Paramahansa. So hearing from those persons who are qualified to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, the Paramahansas, like Srila Prabhupada, we have the example. His purports go deep into the mood of pure bhakti. He's giving his own realization in the form of philosophical teachings, along with the knowledge coming from previous acharyas, and he combines it in such a way that we get the personal understanding of realization from a person who has realized, along with the philosophical teachings that are the foundation of the knowledge that is being taught. So this is the quality of such great souls. And so one should take shelter of these persons and hear from them, learn the science of bhakti, understand how to apply that science, and become what we say fully Krishna conscious. And the principle here is tapa. Tapa means austerity. What is the austerity? To divert our attention away from anything that doesn't foster devotional service. Austerity can be described in different ways, and there's different types of austerity. But the ultimate principle of austerity is to reject everything material and accept everything spiritual, and use everything spiritual for the service of the Lord. That is the ultimate principle of tapa. Tapa means to neglect, or to reject, or to focus on the essence. And the essence is one's natural relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are encumbered with so many other activities that we somehow accept as necessary in order to somehow maintain body and family in this world. But these are ephemeral. They can be minimized, and ultimately they can be dissolved into the fire of bhakti. Therefore, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, whatever you do, do it for me, no matter what it is. Maintaining family, working at a particular occupation, do it for me. Here, this verse that was quoted, we're at the end of the purport. You can go down to the end of the purport again to see that particular verse. It's very fundamental. When Lord Chaitanya was discussing with Ramananda Roy, the Lord was asking, what is the supreme principle of bhakti? And Ramananda Roy was taking it step by step. But when he came to this, and he quoted this verse, Jnana prayasam udapasya namanta eva jivanti sumukaritam bhavadiya vartam stane stita shrutikatam tuno vanmanobir yaprayasa jita jito pyasi tais trilokam. A devotee who abandons the path of impersonal or empirical philosophical speculation, aimed at merging into the existence of the Supreme, and takes up the hearing of your glories and activities from a great soul as saint, who lives in such a way that their occupation in social life is honest, can conquer your sympathy and mercy, even though you are unconquerable. When Lord Chaitanya heard this, he said, this is good. This is good. Before he had rejected everything up until then, what Ramananda had presented as being somewhat, what we say, external. But when he heard this verse, the Lord really gave it a stamp of approval, in the sense that here is the process to get away from all of these philosophical speculations on the absolute truth, and understand this knowledge by hearing from the spiritual master, who is a representative of the Supreme in the material world. And if you live in this world, have an honest life, not a crooked material life where you're cheating and lying and stealing and somehow trying to overcome others in order to get some kind of gain, but an honest occupational life. And then it says here that Krishna, who is Ajita, that's another name for Krishna. It means no one can conquer him, but he's conquered by love. He's conquered by devotion. So one who lives in this way, hearing the glories and activities from a great soul, actually enters into the mood of loving mood of understanding Krishna. Because the essence, satam prasangam mamavirya samvido bhavanti ritkar, is to hear the glories of the Lord from the great souls, discuss the glories of the Lord amongst the devotees, and get realizations of the nature of the absolute truth simply by hearing and discussing his pastimes and activities. This takes one deep into the mood of bhakti and into the nature of the absolute truth, who is a person. When we know the glories of a personality, even in this world, we are attracted to a particular person when they have so many attractive qualities. Krishna has all attractive qualities. So when we hear his name, form, pastimes, qualities, activities, and with absorption, then the heart starts to become happy and the mind becomes inspired, and we can't somehow or other, we can't stop hearing about the Lord more and more and more. One becomes addicted, and one becomes eager to hear about the Lord more and more. One becomes eager to hear the instructions. My video keeps going off. It's not. Let me see here. We can do it. Okay.
No,
It's not.
it's not
It's
steady.
not. It's not. The video doesn't want to change. Oh, now it's on.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you tilt your screen, Maharaj, little bit?
And now it's on.
Um,
Okay. So this is the process of bhakti, and this is the path of the Mahajans. This is the path of the Paramahansas. And it centers around hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, especially coming from Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic literatures that characterize the personality of Godhead as the goal, and not simply the benefits one gets from devotional service, but the activities of the Lord himself. Krishna speaks in the Srimad Bhagavatam that those who eagerly hear about me, I personally enter into their heart and I cleanse all of the dust of material contamination that has been residing there for many births, simply by for a devotee who is eagerly hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the process here. And we're getting this knowledge coming from the great personality. Go back to the translation itself. What is Lord Brahma? I mean, he is a powerful personality, but he's overwhelmed with joy. His heart is full of love and ecstasy. His tears are filling his eyes. All he can do is bow down to that same personality of Godhead. So he becomes like, just a loving personality towards the Lord in such a beautiful way. And he's a powerful and controller. He's not just another devotee. He has such position that Krishna spoke to him directly within the heart and guided him in that way. So he's not a small personality. So if we follow this process of hearing from great souls and taking up the process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, then we will understand the power and beauty of devotional service. If we simply do our activities in devotional service, that's very nice. But unless we take sufficient time to hear and chant the glories of the Lord, we will not move beyond a certain point in our devotional service. because it's all about developing our attraction for Krishna. And Krishna is all attractive. That attraction is not hard to develop, but the process must be followed. That means regular hearing and chanting his glories. And as we do that, we'll find our heart becomes soft and the mind becomes happy, and then devotional service becomes so nice, and it becomes focused. It becomes focused. Although we may have a variety of services, Krishna remains with us in his transcendental personality. And the devotee can't stop thinking about Krishna, even during the day. When Prabhupada was asked one time, are you remembering Krishna? Prabhupada said, I cannot remember any time when I was not remembering Krishna. So that was Prabhupada. He was also showing that this is possible for any living entity, provided they follow the process. And then Taktva Deham Purnam Janmani 19 Mameti Surjuna. We don't have to come back to this material world and go through the whole cycle of birth and death again. Taking birth, which is very people don't understand how misery it is to take birth. The only one that can remember the misery many times is the mother, how much she has to struggle in order to bring the child into the world. And sometimes even the mothers or the women, the pain is so much, or the difficulty of bringing in children into the world is so great that they actually lose their life giving the child. It's considered one of the leading forms of death in the world is women losing their life at childbirth. So it's not so easy to give birth. It's not easy at all. And of course, the child also doesn't come out singing and dancing. He comes out crying. So it's not. So we don't think too much of the miseries of birth, but they're there. They're very much there. And old age, everything, you still have so many desires, but the machine doesn't work. Your seeing, your hearing, your ability to move around, all of the things you did easily when you were in the age of youth become so difficult, and sometimes even not even doable in old age. So old age is a very suffering type of situation. And I've seen so many old people, how they suffer. Some can't even walk, they're bent over, or they're just, they just relegate their life to like a vegetable. So old age is misery and disease, we know. There's all kinds of diseases. There's even deadly diseases. And ultimately, one has to leave the body and give up everything that they lived for, and then traverse onto another body to repeat the same performance all over again. So one should be eager to get out of this cycle of birth, death, disease, and old age, and go back to the spiritual world. And the process is very nice. It's easy. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Swanam, to hear and chant the glories of the Lord in the association of devotees as a regular feature of one's activity, not just occasionally when we have a little time, but as much as possible. This will bring the heart and the mind to its proper position of being satisfied and happy in any and all situation, even in situations that are very trying and difficult that we may experience in our life due to the waves of the material energy. We can somehow go beyond that simply by staying fixed in our remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Therefore, there is no alternative in this world. Either you take to spiritual life, Krishna consciousness, or you suffer. There's no in between. It's not like there's something in between. Suffering means distancing ourselves away from our actual nature, which is to love and serve the Supreme Lord. To try to adopt something different as our modus operandi, our means of livelihood in this life, will only cause one anxiety and suffering and disappointment. and ultimately cause one to take birth again in this material world. So the material world is designed to cause us suffering. It's meant to do that. It's intrinsic in its energy. Why? So we don't somehow or other think, I can be happy here. Krishna places the material energy in the situation to cause us suffering. Why? Just to inspire us to want to go to the spiritual energy where there is no suffering, there is no death, there is only knowledge, and that happiness is in abundance. So this material world is meant for your defeat. It's meant for you. But in the meantime, use the material energy to get out of the material energy by using it in the service of the Lord. Then the material world energy becomes an asset rather than a form of suffering or punishment. When we use it to serve the Lord, and it liberates our consciousness, brings us back to our actual spiritual position of devotion to the Supreme Lord. So we have so many opportunities to use whatever we have, our wealth, our time, our energy, our resources, our abilities, our intelligence. All of this, it should be used in the service of the Lord. Not like 50% or 80%, everything. Because everything is given to us by the Supreme Lord as a means for us to use it to extract ourselves from this material world, and a means for service and getting us back to the spiritual world, or getting us back to pure spiritual consciousness, which is available if we strive for it. Okay.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Such a wonderful class, an important topic. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, please turn on your videos if possible, and you can ask your questions or share your realizations or comments. Yeah. Thank you so much. Silpesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees. Guru Maharaj, when we're suffering, we really call out for Krishna and we endeavor very hard in our sadhana. But then once that testing period is over, we forget, our mind just forgets the difficulties we went through, and we become complacent again. So how can we keep Krishna in our minds always?
Well, this padam yavi padam. This place is dangerous. You're thinking, well, I'm not suffering, but at any minute, something could happen and it's all over. This world doesn't give you any warning either. It's a very precarious and very tenuous. We're walking on ice when we're living in this material world. The ice could break at any time. Don't think you're safe just because everything feels good for a certain point. These are all temporary things that come and go. There are many examples. There's not many, but numerous examples of how everything just changes in 1 minute. People are sitting in their home and all of a sudden there's an earthquake, and that's it. That's the end. There are many things, earthquakes. Just like in America, they had forest fires all over the West Coast. People's homes were destroyed. And they couldn't even do nothing. They were watching their own houses burn. And so, I mean, these things are happening all the time. And we're thinking, well, it's because it's not happening to me, I'm all right. What makes us so special? Well, the only thing special about us is that we're under the care of Krishna. But if we get complacent, Krishna will shake us up, just to remind us that your complacency is just another form of your ignorance. So yeah, to think I'm okay is actually wrong thinking or not. There are people, they die in their house. People fall down the stairs. That's the last thing. They choke on some food. That's the last thing. They go outside mowing the lawn and then they cut their hand just by doing lawn mowing. I've seen that also. So, this place is just full of danger. Bhaktisiddhanta used to say, in a very succinct way, this place is no place for a gentleman. Anyone who wants a nice place to live in should not find, as it's explained in the Bhagavatam also, that from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all the places of misery where birth and death take place. Krishna is saying that. Mamupetu Purnajanman, and again, that this material world is what it is. It's Dukalayam, it's Ashashratam, it's misery, and it's temporary. The miseries are continuous. The type of misery is temporary. I was just meeting with some very nice gentleman just yesterday. He was telling me about his daughter. At a very young age, all of a sudden, she had this stomach ailment. And that was when she was about 8 or 9. Now she's like 17 years old. She still has it. She can't get rid of it. The doctors can't find a means to cure it. But somehow she's living on. But, living in such a marginal situation where your body is always miserable and you have to take care of it all the time, is that happiness? I would, anyone who says that that's the way it is, no, that's the way you accept it. It doesn't have to be like that. You can get out of this struggle by engaged in devotional service. And even if the devotees undergo some physical difficulties or even mental challenges, Krishna is always there to minimize it. Krishna takes care of his devotees. The suffering that devotees get is just a small drop compared to how the non-devotees experience the same type of suffering. Because they live for material enjoyment. They live to have a happy life, a successful life, a healthy life. We live for Krishna. We live to serve Krishna. We live to somehow or other purify ourselves so we can again associate with Krishna at the end of life. So our goal is different. Therefore, our experience of suffering is not the same as the non-devotees. But still, if you get complacent, then you'll fall back into that non-devotee mentality.
What should we meditate on then to stop becoming complacent? Should we think of there was an earthquake today in Russia, and there's been a tsunami that's hit all the way across the Pacific Ocean. There's disasters every day. We just don't know.
Yeah, I just heard yesterday somebody came into some kind of building in New York and started shooting people up. Yes, that was yesterday. If you heard that, that was on the news. Some crazy guy with a rifle just walked in and started shooting people. Fortunately, they got him quickly, and he didn't do much damage. But this is don't think that you're, because it's not happening to you, you're safe. So we should always be in the mood of connecting ourselves with Krishna somehow. Hearing about Krishna, glorifying Krishna, remembering Krishna, serving Krishna, thinking, making plans how to serve Krishna, associating with devotees and sharing Krishna. In other words, Krishna consciousness is savaya sam paro dharmo yato bhakti ahoksaje hoitu kiya priyata yatma suprasidati. Bhagavad Tom explains that the success of bhakti is something that is continuous and not intermittent. If it's intermittent, that means that intermittent stage is then you're falling yourself in a very dangerous situation. That if you forget Krishna and you're outside of devotional service, you're prone to be attacked by Maya in different ways. And the way the world is now, if you're not 100% attentive to everything you do, any little inattention can bring about a disaster. It's the way the world is. The world is really quite, I mean, it's always been difficult because this is the nature of material energy, but now it's actually becoming, what does it say, dangerous. It's really dangerous. So, and this is the way the social fabric has developed. And people are losing their jobs. Just yesterday I read people were walking into one of their, and they were told, we don't need you anymore. 100 people one day were just lost their job. And so, you know, if you think you're secure on the material level, then you might reconsider that, you know, AI is taking over and they're pushing people out. There's people, and it's getting more and more profuse. More and more people are losing their jobs every day because the robots do better work than the humans do. So if you don't have any income, how are you going to support your families? So therefore, we're talking about developing community where devotees work in a communal way to share resources, to share labor, and to live in a more simplified and not become overly dependent on this Western civilization for our livelihood, which we are. We're just giving back all of our time, energy, and resources to foster the material energy by supporting all of these businesses that are using us simply to make money. Prabhupada didn't want that. He wanted us to be self-sufficient. And we were just listening this morning about how Prabhupada said he had that one lamentation before he left the world. He said, I have one lamentation. We haven't established this Van Ashram. That means the farm communities. He wanted that as a social development for our society. Of course, when you're living now, but still you have to see how much time and energy you're using simply to live where it's not so much required. When you live in community, and community means amongst the devotees. And who could be a better person than the devotees? Devotees, they like each other. They love each other. They love to be with each other. They share each other's struggles. They share each other's victories. Because it's all about Krishna. We come together with Krishna in the center. That's a devotee community. In the secular world, it's different. It's all about helping that corporation become more and more successful by your energy, time, and efforts. Get away from that. Why continue in that way? That's one way of mitigating the possibility of the difficulties that we would undergo. As long as we put ourselves under the umbrella of the association of the non-devotees simply for our livelihood, we're also in a very dangerous situation too. So I'm not trying to scare anybody. That's not my program, but just to show what the Bhagavatam is saying in terms of how to actually move forward and get out of this suffering condition, which is presented to us by the material energy. Because when you're on the spiritual platform, you're not affected by the material energy. I said something yesterday. I think Srimati got a copy of it. I don't know who else I sent it to. I think I sent it to Rishabh also. About the dangers, Prabhupada speaking about the dangers of material life. Did you get one, Rishabh? I think I sent it to you also. It's Srila Prabhupada speaking for 7 minutes about the dangers of material life.
Yes, Maharaj, I got it.
I know you got it. I forgot. I think I sent it to Sri Devi too. Maybe she got it.
I didn't get it, Guru Maharaj. Please send to me too, please.
No, me neither.
I'll share with the God family, Maharaj.
Yeah, Srimati has. She can send it to everybody. 7 minutes long. Srila Prabhupada giving assurance. Simply take shelter of Krishna, and he'll protect you from all of the dangers in this material world. But Prabhupada emphasizes how dangerous this place is. We don't see it because somehow or other we're not experiencing it. But then when we experience, then we understand, oh yes, it's like that. I forgot who else I sent. I sent it to 5 people. I sent it to you, Balavan Nitai, I think. I think I sent it to you.
I did not. I got the usual nectar, and that was it. I did not.
I forget. I sent it to 5 people, and I think
Is it by email, Guru Maharaj, or WhatsApp?
it's WhatsApp. Yes, it was on WhatsApp. I know I sent it to Srimati. I sent it to Antaranga, Sundarananda, Advaita, Kartik Chandra, and that was it. And Mukund and Raj Mukund, yeah.
I'll share it with God family, Maharaj.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, if we hear from Prabhupada, then everything becomes understandable, clear. So don't get complacent, because complacency means that at any time you can find yourself victimized by the material energy. Always remember Krishna. Always keep yourself connected to the spiritual energy in one form or another. Don't allow the mind to drift into other things. And you might say, well, how do I get my day-to-day life done? You find that it becomes even easier when you remember Krishna. It becomes more natural.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hope that helps, Shilpesh Prabhu.
Yes, thank you.
Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Shinti. Dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Again and again, we hear about how dangerous it is to have the impersonal conception and how it is so detrimental we can even lose our spiritual life. But I've just been reading about the 4 Kumaras. I have to give a class day after tomorrow, and that pastime of the 2 Kumaras, reaching the Vaikuntha planets, etc. And at that time, I was thinking they are the first-born, mind-born sons of Brahma, who himself has received transcendental knowledge, who himself has seen the Lord. But how is it that they are impersonalists? How are they Brahmavadis when they are born, mind-born, from Brahma himself?
Yeah, they weren't Mayavadis, they were Brahmavadis. There's different kinds of impersonal. That means they had realized the Brahman level of the absolute truth. And therefore they were non-envious. Therefore, when they smelled the tulsi leaves and sandalwood paste that was offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, they developed Bhagavan realization. So Brahmavadis are not envious. Mayavadis and other forms of impersonalism, they adopt that because they don't want to serve the Supreme Lord. They want to enjoy the happiness of freedom from material suffering. And they also have their own philosophy about every living entity is actually the Supreme Lord who is covered by the material energy, and therefore the process of devotional service, not devotional service, but the process of austerities, penances, various types of studies of the Vedas, brings one back to their actual position as the supreme. But this is ridiculous. Does
So
that help?
Brahmavadis, yes, Guru Maharaj. I'm trying to understand that they were born with Brahman realization. They were born as Brahmavadis. They were mind-born sons of Brahma, and that was the level of their realization.
Yeah,
Just
but
as
they're also but they appeared. They weren't born. They were appeared.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
appeared just like Shiva appeared through Brahma. Kumars also appeared through Brahma. It doesn't
Okay.
mean they just took birth.
Okay. Okay, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj. Shivakumar Prabhu, please go.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, one question on the sloka quoted in this purport 10:14 3. There is this word as stani sthita. Like we can be, even Srila Prabhupada repeats in a lot of lectures that you don't need to change your position, you just remain in your position, but start involving yourself in devotional service. This is also connected to the Varnashrama Maharaj. I just wanted to get this clarification. Now, if devotees come from different backgrounds, somebody may be possessing a Kshatriya quality or even a Shudra quality, in the sense that the modes, the combination of modes, the influence of modes are going to be different for different devotees. When we hear that we don't need to change the position, does that mean that we don't need to necessarily raise above the Rajas and Tamo Maharaj to be well situated in devotional service?
But what does it say? It says that they take up the process of devotional service by hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. So the position is secondary. The activities of bhakti is what connects one to Krishna through. Yeah. So what is it saying is that you don't have to change your material position as long as it's an honest material position. That's all. You can still be an engineer, you can be a carpenter, you can be a manager, but hear and chant the glories of the Lord. It doesn't mean you have to leave your home and family and then take up spiritual life. You can do that also, but it's not that it's mandatory. The point is to become Krishna conscious. That's the whole point. And it's saying you can become Krishna conscious wherever you are. The ashrams or the varnas are secondary. They're supportive. But the ultimate goal is to become Krishna conscious. So if your material situation is taking you away from Krishna conscious, then you can adjust that. But here, this verse says, one who is honestly engaged in one's social occupation. You don't have to change. You think, well, I'm here, and then let me start doing Brahminical activities, and that'll make me more qualified to become Krishna conscious. No, you can raise yourself up from wherever you are to the spiritual platform.
Okay.
We even have examples of animals that became Krishna conscious.
Okay. Okay. So Maharaj, just one confirmation, Maharaj. So this progress or perfection is that is not dependent on attaining Brahminical qualification? Is that the understanding, Maharaj?
Well, The Brahminical qualification means cultivating the mode of goodness. Yeah. And that means, yeah, following one of those qualities that are conducive to bhakti, and those qualities are in the mode of goodness. Passion and ignorance cannot be engaged in devotional service.
Mm, 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 mm,
So one has to go to the mode of goodness.
mm,
And then the qualities of the mode of goodness are given.
mm.
I was just listening yesterday, Prabhupada was listing those qualities, and he was explaining how to, when we adopt these qualities and engage in devotional service with these qualities, we are situated properly.
Okay. Mm,
And you can read the list of the qualities of the mode of goodness.
mm,
What is the Sama Dhamma? Yeah, if you could just go, if you want a listing, go to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse number 42. And then you can read the qualities of the mode of goodness. And Prabhupada was quoting these. There are 9 qualities that are mentioned here. And in the Sanat Sujata, there are 12 qualities that are quoted. Can you go there, Srimati, Bhagavad Gita, 1842. We need to get a clarification of what are these qualities. These are the essential qualities.
Yes, 1 second.
1842.
Yes, coming.
Samodhamas tapasau cham shantar arjameva cha jnana vijnanam astikam brahma karma svabhavajam. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. So these are qualities of the mode of goodness. They are emphasized. Jnana Vijnanam. Jnana means knowledge, and Vijnana means wisdom. Okay?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Great.
Thank you, Maharaj. Pavni, please go ahead. You want to unmute?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj, we hear about how dangerous this world is. So how do we always remember Krishna no matter what condition we are in?
By chanting Hare Krishna. You can chant anytime, anywhere. You don't need your beads. You can chant when you're walking. You can chant while you're doing work in your home or in school. You can always chant. That's the easiest way to remember Krishna. There's other ways. You can bring an image of Krishna into your mind and you can think like that. But that takes a little bit more effort to do that. And then to hold it there is also much more difficult. But the chanting is always available. Just chant. When you're doing your rounds and you're on your last round and you're coming to the end, you finally finish. Don't stop there. Put your beads down and start doing the other work, but still continue chanting. Don't stop. Just keep chanting. You have to think of something. Why not think of Krishna and the holy name?
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
And you can look at pictures of Krishna, just like we have so many pictures of Krishna. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures. You can just look at the pictures of Krishna and you're remembering Krishna. You can talk about Krishna, you're remembering Krishna. You're eating prasadam, you should think this is Krishna coming in the form of very nice food. That's Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Haribol.
Thank you, Maharaj. Sirjana, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we're told that we must be more humble than a blade of grass, and like, how can we aspire for that? Because whenever we do something and that we get compliments, we become prideful, and we think that we are the doers. So how can we, how can we think of that Krishna is the doer behind this?
Don't accept it. Somebody wants to give you something, if you take it, then you got it. But if somebody wants to give you something and you don't accept it, you don't have it. Why dwell on what they say? You don't have to. You can say, actually, it was the mercy of my spiritual master. Actually, it was the mercy of the devotees. And it's true. These are not just statements. So if you want to believe what they say, then you're stuck in that consciousness. I did it, and therefore I deserve some praise. And then the false ego builds. You can choose what you think every minute. Nobody is going to tell you what to think or what not to think. That's up to you. So if you understand how to respond to such things, then you can free yourself from that tendency to get a false ego. We say all glories to my spiritual master. You pass it on. That's all.
Mhm. Thank you.
But if you like it and you think you deserve it, then you keep it, and then and after some time, you could start becoming, you're thinking that, whatever you do is so nice. And then Krishna will show you. He'll show you if you think like that, he'll cause you to make a mistake just to show you you're not so good. That's his mercy. So don't bother Krishna with that. Just don't accept it. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Sridevi Mataji, I want to go ahead.
Guru Maharaj, I know I'm asking a little stupid question, but please, for my own clarification, I'm asking. So the quality by which the Brahmanas work, we have seen that, samadama, tapas, saucham, cleanliness, etc. Now the quality of Kshatriyas is heroism, bravery, resourcefulness, generosity, protection of the weak, etc., which are considered the mode of passion. That's the mode of passion by which Kshatriyas work. When it's dovetailed in Krishna consciousness, does it then become transcendental, just as Arjuna fought the battle?
Yeah. That's why Prabhupada said Daivi Varnashram, not just Varnashram, spiritual Varnashram. Serve Krishna as a Brahmin, serve Krishna as a Kshatriya, serve Krishna as a Vaishya. But serving Krishna means you also develop the qualities of the mode of goodness. along with the qualities you need to carry out your service. That's
So that means even the Kshatriyas will develop Brahminical qualities?
certain ones, yeah. Cleanliness, equipoise, charity, knowledge of the Shastras, wisdom, realization of it. Yeah, because they're devotees. The Varnas are second. The devotional aspect is primary.
Right. Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah.
And do these qualities come from birth or they are nurtured in our children, Kshatriya qualities?
Krishna says, Chaturvarna Maya Srishna Guna Karma Vibhagasaha. These things come automatically by birth, but they're not developed. So they lay dormant. They are brought out by education and by education and activity.
I just can't wait for a wonderful Kshatriya class to also emerge and, make the wonderful miracles of Daivi Varnashram happen in ISKCON, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, we're trying to do that. It's happening slowly. Everyone has their version of Varnashram. Or unfortunately, there's so many versions.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Maharaj, we have some few comments and one question on chat. So Nashingalila Mataji, she's sharing about her experience. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, all goes to Sri Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, I just wanted to share how we have been in Israel for the past few weeks. Just yesterday, we had a rocket alert. I was alone in the hotel, shocked, not knowing what to do, and I just remembered to start chanting loudly. It helped me remember that Krishna is our only protector and that we are safe no matter what happens to the physical body. It also helped me remember the nature of this world. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for planting that seed and helping me nurture it.
Good, yeah. You acted perfectly. Just chant loudly, calling out to Krishna for his mercy.
Yeah. And Rishabh Prabhu was commenting about the four Kumaras. Four Kumaras are considered topmost Kanishta Adhikaris who are searching for the ultimate truth.
Where did you read that they were Kanista? I don't remember anybody using that phrase in relationship to the four Kumaras.
I think he left the class, Maharaj. He is not online now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just let it go then.
Yes, Maharaj. Kiran Mataji from Haridwar, she is asking, Hare Krishna, my humble obeisances always to Sri Prabhupada. In India, it is a compulsion to stay in the family. Sometimes it becomes very difficult to focus on Krishna because behavior of some person makes it difficult to not to think of the person's activity. How to avoid that, especially when chanting, all the thoughts disturb again and again. The mind goes into what I don't want to think.
How to go to a horror movie and not get scared? Huh? Is that the question?
Kiran can come and stay with me, Guru Maharaj, in Mayapur.
Well, don't go to the horror movie and you won't get scared. If you're complaining about what it's like where you are, then either you have to get out of there or you have to make it better, either one. Either do one of the two things, change it or leave it.
Krishna. Hope that helps, Mataji. Maharaj, I was thinking like, as Narsinga Leela Mataji was saying, like suddenly we don't know what will happen. So, so what should be our mood, or how should we behave, or without fear, how can we be doing the activities or going here and there? Suppose the plane crashes or the tsunamis come or the earthquakes come.
Yeah.
So,
Stay in association with devotees.
yeah.
When you're association with devotees, then you can deal with situations much easier and more naturally. Get support. That's why I've been emphasizing for the last 5 years, we got to build these farms. It's even becoming more important now as time goes on. I could say certain things that may sound a little bit alarming, but you can see the future by studying the past and analyzing the present. And the way things are going, if it continues in the same way, I mean, the calamities are only going to continue. And I don't want to sound like some doomsday prophet, but that's how you understand things from past experiences and by present situation. You can still start to see how the future will unfold. And the way it's going now, there's a strong dissatisfaction around the world. People are really struggling because there's a lot of tension everywhere. And there's other people who are making plans to get out of it by getting out of their situation, starting their own businesses, starting their own farm communities, starting their own lifestyles. And there's those who are looking for something better, and then they wind up in our Krishna consciousness. It's a great time for preaching. You can just pick people up easy because nobody is really feels any stability in their life anymore. In the 1980s in America, the stability was so strong that everybody thought we had entered into the heavenly planets. Everything was so nice. That was in the 80s. The 80s were the blooming times in America. Now in America, it's just one catastrophe after another. And the rest of the world is also not as bad, but America's going down fast, really fast. So the viewers who are situated in America, you should be thinking about how to become more Krishna conscious, and also stabilizing your social life where you are not so much affected by what happens around you. And just listen to that little 7-minute thing that I sent to Srimati.
Yes, Maharaj. I listen to that. Yeah.
So we're going to either wake up naturally or be forced to change by circumstance. And when you're forced, you're not ready.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for reminding us through these classes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if you read Prabhupada's books, you get a clear understanding of what's happening and why it's happening and how to become free from the effects of it.
Mm.
Prabhupada gave us everything, not just spirituality, but a lifestyle that is conducive to spirituality.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Pavni, you have something to share.
Maharaj, are there any specific Prabhupada books which talks about this topic about the material nature?
Material nature, yeah, it's all through Prabhupada's books. Yeah, if you go to the third canto, towards the end of the third canto, there's a whole chapter called Understanding Material Nature. Kapila Dev's instructions to his mother. And there's other places too. Actually, the whole Bhagavatam talks about it in different ways. We have to break this illusion that this material world, we can be happy here. As long as we keep that illusion, we can never really move forward in the spiritual progress.
Thank you, Maharaj. The devotees, any more questions or comments? Maharaj, we reached 1 hour 15 minutes mark, so shall we end the call here, or can we do some chanting today, Maharaj?
Yeah, I could do a couple rounds. I can't
Yeah.
stay more than 10-15 minutes.
Yes, Maharaj. I just want to announce quickly about tomorrow's class. Tomorrow's class is with Bhakti Sangha devotees, and the verse number is Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 7th chapter, 4 to 8. 8, 7, 4 to 8.
Okay.
And the time is 12:20 p.m. UK time, 20 minutes later than our regular time.
Tomorrow, I'm supposed to go out. Yeah, I'm going out tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not.
Oh,
In fact, I'm pretty sure I can't because I have this engagement tomorrow. So yeah, you might alert them and let them know I'm not available.
yes, Maharaj.
If they want me to do Friday, I can do Friday, but tomorrow I can't.
Okay, Maharaj. Sure, I'll let them know. I'll reply you back, Maharaj, what she says.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you for such a nice class and nice discussion. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
And yeah, please stay on for chanting, dear devotees. Thank you so much. I'll announce about tomorrow's class in the WhatsApp group. And also I'll
Thank you.
share the link for the YouTube class of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
Thank you, Srimati Mataji. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. You're trying to kill me, huh? You shut the door.
Oh no, because we were listening it loud, it feeds back into the microphone.
Yeah, and I can't breathe because there's no air. I'm gonna get a headache.
Sorry,
yeah, I need the air. That's why I got these windows open. Now I got all of them open.
Yeah. Shall I open these two as well?
They're open. Well, this is open. Just one. Open one of them. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. They're online yet. We're
Oh, they're still online.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Rama Rama Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Bol Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. I'm online doing the job of session now. So, Hare Krishna. You can join me. Jump in. Hare Krishna. I'm gonna be there for a little while, and then I'll come and talk to you in about 10 minutes or so. Okay, come on. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Om Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Krishna. Maharaj left the call. Anybody wants to take over, Mataji?